everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we just have a little bit of an update video and a little bit of a planning video. Also, Oakley's in the background. So if he starts crying, it's because I'm talking to you guys. He really doesn't like it when I talk to no one. I don't know really why he doesn't like it. Sorry, my eyes. So the first thing, obviously I have lashes on now. I went to Beautiful Laurie at Calma Beauty and Massage. I think that's what it's Calma. I'll tag it in the description box. But I went there, wouldn't go anywhere else, and just obviously they look amazing. I'll show you them a bit. They're insane. Obviously I recommend her to the ends of the earth. But I'm looking out, I'm like facing my window and Jesus, it's bright. Like, so I feel like the combination with my eyelashes and the brightness, I'm just a bit like, I have no eyes. But hopefully they'll adjust for doing this video. But yeah, we have Oakley in the background, so I'm sorry if he starts squeaking. Honestly, it is because I'm talking to no one. He doesn't like it, but he's just gonna have to deal with it because this is what I do. So he's just gonna have to get used to it. So yeah, bit of a long break since the last video. I apologize for it, but we have lashes on and I am back with some exciting news. Not really for you guys. I mean, I don't even know if you're interested in this, but it's exciting for me. So if you guys haven't seen the last video about my physio, maybe go watch that one. I don't know if I updated you guys since that video, because the last time I did, it was after I'd been to the first physio and then I went to a different physio in the same company, but I just went to the owner instead of someone who just worked within the company. And basically the issues that I have with my body were, I had zero core strength. I'm just going to define a little bit what I mean by core, because I might not necessarily be talking about core in the same sense that you guys know. Because with your core, obviously if you don't know, I'm a PT, so this is my jam. You have your within the core, right, there's different layers. The first layer is the one that everybody sees as like the six-pack, your core, your abs, that kind of thing. Then your core actually goes way deeper. Like there's the stuff under the six-pack muscles, and then there's your spine. That is included in your core muscles because obviously it's things that keep you like sturdy and central, like that is your core. And basically none of them had any strength for me. So I went to the physio after I really hurt myself when I went back to the gym after the first lockdown. I deadlifted and then my back was just like no. So that happened. So then I went to see a physio and we just found a load of other issues that like made this happen. So I had no core strength. My glutes weren't working effectively at all, which probably came down to my core strength as well, but my glutes just weren't having any of it. That's why I've got no glutes, because they just, when I've been doing glute workouts and leg workouts, lower workouts, whatever, they haven't been pulling their weight. Essentially they've just been doing nothing. My core, my back, everything has like having to be taking that weight because my glutes have just been doing nothing. And obviously the glutes are the biggest muscle in the body. They're meant to take a lot of that weight and they just haven't. So there was that. And then I also have an issue with my shoulder, which there's been like up in the air about what it is, but essentially all of the muscles that are around my scapulas, yeah, I always get scapula and sternum mixed up. So your shoulder blades on the back, so you know those things that when you move your arms back, they look like wings, like those type of things. All of the muscles around there for me aren't working very efficiently. They're not doing anything. So my traps, which are here, like you've probably seen in other videos, like my traps are quite big in comparison to things like my delts. Like they kind of pop out a little bit, and they've been taking everything because all the other muscles aren't pulling their weight. There's a little bit of a theme here. It just seems like half of my body's just shutting down and be like, this isn't for me, and the other half's like so yeah, that happened, and it occurs in my left shoulder the worst. So I get really bad like nervy pain going down my shoulder, my delts, my back, my neck. I just have some really bad issues, and it resulted in me not being able to bench press and overhead press. My mobility in my shoulders is shocking, like it's so bad. There's like a test that you're meant to be able to do where you lie on the floor on the front, have your arms up, and then see how far you can lift them off the ground. I can't even lift them off the ground. Like they're just they're on the floor and that's where they are staying. So that's how bad it is. But obviously I went to the physio for the first time after I hurt myself, which was after the first lockdown, I think. So it was probably literally like the second week after the first lockdown that I started going to physio, and then I've been going ever since. There's been mixtures of gaps, like at the beginning I was going like once a month. And then when I went to SJ, the new guy, I was going like once every 2 weeks, and then it kind of slowly tapered off because everything was going a bit better. And yeah, I finally got the clearance yesterday that I can actually go back to lifting heavy weights, which is super exciting because I haven't been allowed to, especially with lower body. Lower body, I've literally not been allowed to do anything. Upper body, I've had to go like really light on push exercises, and pull exercises I've ended up having to go light anyway because I've realized that I've not been doing them correctly because those muscles just haven't been working properly. So, and that's mixed in with the gyms being shut and having to do workouts at home and all that kind of crap. So yeah, I've also been having to do like loads more other exercises to build those muscles back up. So obviously with my core, I've been having to do something called the McGill Big 3, which it just takes forever. The exercises are amazing, but for me I had to do them in kind of like a reverse pyramid kind of scheme. So I had to do like, I've got to do 10, then 8, then 6, then 4, then 2, and it just takes so long. I was having to do them twice a day at the beginning, and it takes a while. And at first I wasn't even able to get up to like 6. It was like 4, then 2, and then I had to go move on the next exercises because there's 3 exercises basically. But the way it's worked is I had to make my way up to 10, and then I had to increasingly make the exercises harder. And yeah, there was that. And then for lower exercises I had to go down to proper basics. Like the only thing that I was allowed to do at the beginning, well, I wasn't allowed to do anything at the very beginning, but then I went on to doing split squats, which are just lunges effectively, but you don't like bring your legs back in, your feet are planted and then you're down up, and that's it. Squats, Cossack squats, which are basically side lunges. I think lateral lunges is what a lot of people call them. And what else was there? Oh, reverse lunges, but I've focused more on split squats, and I added in a hip hinge because once I was able to do a hip hinge, I had to even, like, I wasn't even allowed to do them body weight. I literally was only allowed to do them on a TRX. Like I had to hold on to something to do them because my core wouldn't take it very well. So yeah, got on it there, and then I've just been slowly working my way up. And obviously the gym's only reopened 2 weeks ago at the time of recording this. Is it 2 or 3? I'm not entirely sure. So when the gyms reopened, all I did was keep the lower workouts I was doing because I have some dumbbells at home. So I was just doing really simple stuff like I said, and hip thrusts and some hip abduction stuff. So all I did when the gyms reopened is started doing them in the gym because obviously I just prefer that environment. So I just went there and did them. And then I emailed SJ asking for another appointment, asked to just beg him if I could start lifting heavy again and if he thinks I'm ready, because we had like a 2-month gap between this appointment and the last appointment because I got frustrated. I just felt like nothing was working and I wasn't progressing, but I just had to keep going. Like once we had that appointment, because we talked around it, he's a brilliant physio, we talked around it and why things weren't going the way that I thought and things like that, but we left it on a way of come back when you feel like things are progressing, and that's what happened this week. But I kept going with the exercises. I was still doing my McGill 3, I was still just doing really basic lower. I wasn't doing heavy upper work, and I'm still not so sure on how I feel about doing heavy upper work because my shoulder's still not great. I need to work on some scapular exercises more, I think, before I'm ready to do bench and things like that. So yeah, that is where we are. So I was there this week, and he has assessed me and looked at how my body's moving, and he is happy for me to start lifting heavy. And I tell you guys, I'm just so excited. Like, I'm so excited because when I injured myself, that was like the first time that I've ever gone, right, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna lift heavy, I'm gonna get over myself, because I've always been scared of going heavy. Not like scared as in like self-conscious or anything, like literally just like, how am I gonna put all this weight and do something with it? But it was the first time I was like, I'm gonna smash it, I'm just gonna get over myself, not listen to the thoughts in my head and just do it. And then I injured myself. So it's literally been like a year, 2 years waiting to do heavy stuff. And I'm just so excited to get back into it, because I'll put a little bit of a trigger warning here. I'm going to talk about my body dysmorphia and eating disorder for a tiny little bit, literally like 2 minutes. If you skip 2 minutes, it should be past. But if you guys subscribe, you will know I'm going through a bit of an issue with an eating disorder and body dysmorphia, and the stage that I'm at the minute is I'm trying to focus on putting muscle on and not be scared of eating food, because I want to put muscle on. So not being able to lift heavy has been a little bit difficult in my head, because I'm like, well, if I can't lift heavy, what's the point? But obviously I've been working on trying not to think like that anyway. But now that I can lift heavy, I'm just so excited to eat more and know that that's going to be fueling my body for me to be strong. And I'm so excited. So I'm going to do my plan now. And I thought I'd talk you guys through a little bit about how I do it. Because obviously, like I said, I'm a PT. This is what I do for a job. I love doing it. I love writing plans. I write my own plans. I write Jack plans. I write my clients' plans. I wrote all my clients' plans in the past when I used to do PT full time. It's one bit of the job that I'm just like, I love when I get to write a new plan. So I thought I'd talk you through a little bit about how I do it. So hang on, I'm gonna go get the iPad so I can write stuff down, because a lot of people just do it, like they plan it, but I need to write it down and then figure out orders, because there is an importance to this type of thing. So I'll be 2 seconds. Now, one thing I just want to say before I get going is I haven't made this video with it in mind to be like, this is how you write your plan. So if you guys have any questions about it, please just comment below. I'm happy to make another video or to answer just any questions in the comments below. Like, I'm happy to talk about it more, but I'm just writing my plan with you guys, if that makes sense. And it might, to be honest, it might work out as if like this is how to write a plan. But if I leave anything out, if you guys have any questions, please just comment below. Also, this is just how I do it in terms of writing plans and having a plan written for you. Coaches have different ways of approaching it, and in the literature, in terms of what is optimal for hypertrophy, like building muscle, that kind of stuff, there is some ambiguity in that. Like there is some like conflict as to what's the right way, but I go off research in terms of what's been proven the most so far. So hang on, I'll get my phone because I need my notes. Sorry, the brightness needs to be adjusted. What I do and what I kind of promote to my clients as well, because it's what's been found to be the most effective, is I do an upper and lower split instead of doing things like shoulders, chest, like more muscle based splits, because it's been shown that basically more frequency is better. So if I only did like, if I did, I don't know, like chest, shoulders, quads and glutes, hamstrings, all like that, they would only get hit once a week until I come to the next week and do those days again. Obviously you're getting a lot of volume in there, because obviously you're just doing one muscle in one day, so you're probably going to do like 5 exercises for your shoulders, for example, but you'll not hit your shoulders again till next week. So I do upper and lower, where that means you hit your shoulders twice that week, because in those 2 uppers there will be 2 shoulder exercises. Obviously there'll not be as much volume, so you still need to be careful on making sure you're getting the volume that you need, which is what the planning kind of comes into. But you hit them more, which has seemed to be better in research. So I do an upper lower split. I'm going to do this plan for a 5-day split. I think I'll do, oh god, what am I gonna do? Previously I've been doing a 2 upper and 3 lower split, but I might actually do a 2 upper, 2 lower and 1 full body, because then in that full body day I can focus on the places that I actually want to hit more. So for me personally, the places that I would like to grow, especially on my delts, my glutes. Obviously I need to focus on my back, which are all those scapular muscles that I was talking about, and I'd also like to grow my biceps, to be honest. So should I do full body? Yeah, I'm gonna do full body. So the way that I do it to plan is how's the best way to do this? I'll pop up a screenshot of what I'm writing down. So all I do is, actually I'll screen record it. At the top of the page, I'll write down all of the different muscle groups. So I'll do legs first. So I'll do like quads, hamstrings, glutes. Then, I mean, there's calves as well. Should I put calves? Yeah, we'll put calves in. I haven't trained my calves in a while. Then we go into the upper, so chest, shoulders, back, biceps, triceps, and make sure I've got everything: chest, shoulders, back, biceps, triceps. Yeah, that'll do. So you can see I have all of the different muscle groups in there. That is so I can calculate the amount of sets that I'm doing for each of those muscle groups across the week. Research has shown that to get the best optimal hypertrophy, so hypertrophy just means muscle gain, you want to aim for 10 to 20 reps across the week. Now, once I've written that down, because obviously I haven't planned anything yet, so I can't write how many sets that I've done in it. So I will go through. I normally like to plan my lower body sessions first. So I'll write, oh, I'm on rubber. Lower 1. And then lower 2. And then I will put full body in case I want to do some big lower lifts in that full body session. So the first thing that I'm going to do is think about the big lower lifts that I want to do, because obviously you want to start with the big lifts and focus on them, because they are the thing that is probably going to stay stable within my workouts for probably the next year. Everything else, like accessory stuff, is probably going to change maybe in 12 weeks time or a little bit longer than that, but the big lifts are probably going to stay the same first. So what do I want to do? I definitely want to put hip thrusts in there. I want a deadlift. I'm not too bothered about doing back squat, so let's do upper one as hip thrust, and then lower 2 as sumo deadlift. I'm so sorry if you hate my writing, it isn't very good. I'm trying to make it neat. So now once I've got something in there, I'll think about how many sets I want to do, because obviously this will dictate how many sets I need to do of other things. So hip thrust is obviously a very glute dominated exercise, so I'll probably do, let's see, how many do I want to do? This is working sets, by the way, as well. With the big ones, I'll probably do some warm-up sets in there as well. So let's do 4 hip thrusts and 4 sumo, because 4 is a quite nice number. I tend to stick at like 3 to 5. I don't tend to go lower than 3 unless it's an accessory, very like hip abduction kind of stuff, and I really don't like going above 5. I get bored very easily, so I don't like going above 5. So what I'll do now is, because I've got 4 sets on hip thrust, that means I know I've got 4 sets on glutes, so I'll go back to the top, put 4 in there. Then sumo deadlift, that hits the glutes as well, so we'll get rid of that 4 and make that 8. And because it's sumo, I'm probably just going to leave that there, because I want to focus on hitting the muscles a lot, and sumo is very glute. Should I put, yeah, I'll put that down as quads as well. So 4, because the main muscle is what I'm working on, whereas I want to really feel the muscle that I'm working in. So for example, hip thrust probably will hit my quads a little bit as well, but it's not going to be the primary muscle that it's working, so I wouldn't put that in the quad section. Whereas sumo deadlift, it is hitting the glutes mainly, but it is really working the quads as well, so I wouldn't want to neglect that in my like volume kind of calculations. So that will be my main workouts, and now I'll probably go on to other things that I want to do. So I definitely want leg press in there. What day would I prefer to have leg press? Let's put leg press in full body, because leg press is quite heavy hitting, but it's not, I personally don't find it as exhausting as the other two. So leg press might be a good one for full body. So how many? Let's do 5 of leg press. So that now makes the quads 9, and the glutes, how many did I say? 5, and the glutes 13. Is that right? Oh my god, what happened to my 3? I'm making sure I've done the maths right. Yeah, that's right. So as you can see, quads and glutes have been smashed in this, so I'm gonna have to find something to do hip thrusts on, not hip thrusts, sorry, hamstrings on. So I definitely want to do stiff leg deadlift, because I did that this week and oh my god, it felt amazing. So let's put that in. So you can see glutes is going up quite quickly, and that's because a lot of exercises includes the glutes. So now I'll probably work on making things that are like accessory for the quads, the hamstrings and the calves. So I'm not going to make you watch the entire thing, so I will check back with you after I finish my lower body ones. I am done. It takes a while, honestly, like even though I do this so often, it still takes a while, because especially when it's your own, because you know like what you like and what you want to avoid and what you think you probably should do but you probably don't want to do, so it takes a while. So you can see on here I did upper as well, so all of the muscle groups have got numbers in there now. You can see probably some of them aren't above the 10, like because I try and stick between 10 and 20, but for chest and triceps it's hard when I don't feel comfortable pressing yet. So there is some chest and triceps in there. The abductors are quite low because obviously my glutes are getting quite a bit of volume, and so are my quads, because I also forgot to mention that I want my quads to get bigger. So quads and glutes are getting smashed, so are shoulders and my back. My back is because obviously I have a lot of work to do still on those little muscles that I was talking about. So you can see we have lower 1 there, lower 2, and then upper 1, upper 2 and full body. So there's probably about 5 or 6 exercises in each workout. There are a few supersets in there. That's just purely because of time, because when you're doing upper and lower, the workouts can get a little bit long when you're trying to hit as much volume as you want as well. That's one thing that I wanted to say as well about volume, is in the 10 to 20 rep range, it's kind of like down to you and what you feel is best for your recovery, because if you feel like you can't deal with the 20 kind of volume, you can like stick down the 10 if that feels what's right for you, but you can also go above the 20 mark if you are specializing. But if you go above the 20 mark in terms of, say, your glutes, if you're specializing on building your glutes, the rest of the volume needs to come down in other areas, otherwise it's just far too much for your body. So I just want to say that. So yeah, that is my plan done. I'm sorry about how long this video went. I didn't think it was going to take that long, but it did. But yeah, that's it done. Obviously I am very, very forgiving in terms of programs. If I do this next week for the first time and I don't like a certain exercise, or something's not feeling right, or I'd prefer to do something else, I'll switch it out. The first week's kind of just a trial thing. I won't go in and lift heavy by any means. I'm not meant to do that anyway with the physio. I've got to go in and go up in increments of like 5 kilos rather than going in like guns blazing and go way too heavy way too quick. So it'll probably be really light for the first week, see how I feel with the program. If I'm not enjoying something, I'll change it. If it feels great, I'll then up the weight next week. So if next week's essentially a deload week, and then the volume will go up from there and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that is it. I'm hoping to share more of this with you guys. I'm probably going to film some of the workouts that you've just seen, so you can see what they're like. I'm going to try and document how my strength goes after next week. Probably not for the first week, because like I say, I'm going to just see how the workouts go, but maybe another mini series might come into play with it, or whatever you guys want to see essentially. So just comment below if you've got any questions or requests thoughts or comments or anything like that. But apart from that, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like and a comment, because it just lets me know that you did like it. It supports me, it supports the channel, all the stuff that you hear from everyone. But yeah, I shall love yous and leave yous, and I shall see you in the next video. Peace. Bye.